Hello, hello. Hello from Malaysia. KL. Yeah. Chris is from?
Hi guys, I'm from Singapore.
Good.
Being locked down as you guys as well, so it's been close to about 2 weeks now.
Yeah, slightly different term. We are MCO here and you are circuit
CB.
breaker? CB? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yep,
nice
we
catch
call
up.
it CB.
Yeah, nice catch up with you. Good. And we heard quite a good testimony from you with wearing the Aulora series. So I'm talking about Aulora series means the pants, the top, and the boxer. Yeah, you mind sharing some of your feeling?
At very first question I want to ask is how do you get to know about Aulora series first? How do you get to know about BE International?
Uh, Let me see. The first time I actually hear about it was a couple of years back to my wife. My wife just bought the pants, which is the Aulora pants for her own personal consumption about 2 years back, but she wasn't serious about it. She just put it on off and on. That was the first time I ever heard. But the real time that I actually hear her actually mentioning about it was about, I said, about 5 months back, sometime in October or November timeframe. So that was the first time I hear her being serious about the pants. She said that, look, there is a lot of miracles. Seems to be like a miracle pants. So that's the reason why she's actually putting it on. So that was the time somewhere around the last quarter of last year, right?
And do you mind to share with our friends here, like what's your background about? Because we know that you are actually a personal trainer, but you are also specialize in finance.
No, I'm not a personal trainer. I think so. So
Okay, okay.
uh, so okay, maybe I'll just share a little bit about
Yes.
myself. Like, what you guys want to know is basically is it the experience of me wearing the pants and then what I do as well, right? So practically, just to put a caveat here, I'm not a personal trainer. Neither am I someone who knows how to train someone in terms of personal fitness. I believe that basically you guys would thought that I'm doing that is because partly I do exercise a lot, keep myself really active
Yep.
by actually going to the gym or doing some running and etc. So just that the older you are, so health actually does catch up as well. So you want to keep yourself healthy. So that's what I'm doing. So I do exercise about 4 to 5 times a week. That's a combination of both going to the gym, doing some running, off and on playing a little bit of basketball. So that's what I do to keep myself active. Um, Partly it's because being a professional like myself, doing a regional job in sales, basically I look after the partner ecosystem as part of my day to day. I travel as well as I do a lot of office work. So you're basically in a sedentary lifestyle, which means that basically you're not active at work that much besides staring 8 to 5 job in the computer itself, right? So that's the reason why I get myself try to be more active, and that's probably the reason why that my wife came up to me and say, "Look, why don't you try this pants?" Maybe what I'll do now is just go into the experience of me wearing the Aulora pants, right? So myself, I was a bit skeptical at first wearing Aulora pants because I had some setback in the sense that, look, you're gonna put myself on a tight. The tightest thing ever I put on myself is jeans, right? And jeans is supposed to be a bit loose fitting. So I'm never a fan of putting a spandex because the spandex itself, I felt that it's basically it's a very feminine thing. So I did put that on. So I'm to be honest. So my wife said, "Look, you have to try." So despite her being persistent and forcing me to do it and say, and then I eventually gave in to try it. So I wore it to the gym. The first time I wore it to the gym was sometime in November, December timeframe. So that was the time that I went to the gym. I tried using the pants. To me, the first thing I put it on, I didn't feel anything besides being uncomfortable, especially your legs and your crotch area, right? So it's very tight. And I went to the gym. I started to run. So when I started to run, I felt a kind of like weird tingling sensation around my legs area. I didn't know what's going on. So the only thing I felt was it's a cooling effect, it's tingling, and I didn't feel tired as I continued running. I continued running, I felt the sort of the muscles being fired up really easily. And I felt the connection that I had between my muscles as well as my body. So I kept on running, I kept on, this gave me the endurance. So after that, normally what I'll do is that my daily workout is that I run about 10 minutes. So I ran for 10 minutes, but the 10 minutes I had was basically I was running at a speed of about 12 to 13 around that speed, off and on, putting it down and then bringing it up again. So I felt really great. And then I'll go into my weights workout. So during weights workout itself, I felt again, I felt something different that day during the workout was that basically the whole entire body was really connecting. Every muscle within my legs and also my body starts to connect. I didn't feel tired. I only felt the tingling sensation, right? So using the weights and basically carrying those weights, what you really want to feel is basically your whole entire body feeling connected between the muscles as well as also the strength that it's actually involved. So I felt really good throughout the workout. So that was my first experience wearing the pants. So from then on, I tried again because I told my wife said, keep on wearing it, just to try again. So I tried. I wear 3-4 times to the gym during that month. Despite my reluctance, I put it on. So throughout the whole time, I felt the same. I felt good after the workout. I felt good during the workout. It gives me the strength, it gives me the energy, it gives me the endurance. But one thing I felt really, I felt it very, I would use the word mafan because my wife, this pants is expensive. This pants, you have to look after it. For me, myself, when we gym or when we work out, we tend to do after workout stretches to cool down. So I tend to use the roller foam to roll against, and she said that you can't do that anymore, especially wearing the pants. So then I said, oops, that's a stopper. So at every point of chance, I look for a way to not wear the pants. So I said, okay, fine, I'm not going to wear the pants anymore. So it's so troublesome, right, that I need to take off the pants in order to do that roller foam and roll off my muscles. So I stopped wearing that, okay? So I stopped that. That was my experience that I had. A quick experience, pretty much like yourself going on a date. So a couple of first dates. So it's a couple of first experience that I had with the pants. And it was good, it was quick, and I did feel connection. And then after that, it just dies off because after a while, I said, look, I'm not going to do it anymore because of I can't do my roller foam and stuff like that because I'm so used to the philosophy of untangling your muscles, right? So that's my experience. Yeah, and then I think sometime in January, my wife came again and asked me, hey, you're not wearing your pants, ah? I said, no lah, it's so troublesome, I'm not wearing it. And besides, I kind of look weird as well wearing that and then wearing my pants on it, my shorts. So I said, I'm not going to wear it. Then she said, why don't you do this? Everyone seems to be wearing it to sleep. Why don't you try it? I said, again, asking me to wear the pants. When are you going to stop asking me to wear these pants? Then I said, okay. After her being so persistent, I every day saying that, look, she herself wears it and then asked me, she said that she has a different for her is that she felt her knees was much better. She used to have some knees problems, partly because of a fall that she had. So with wearing the pants now gives her a lot of stability around her knees as well as giving her some strength as well for her. She seems to be able to walk better, climb the stairs, etc. So she said, look, just wear it lah. Just do it one night, just wear it, okay? So I put on the pants reluctantly. Let me see, how did I recall wearing? Oh, wow. Putting on was tough again, like after a while you stop wearing it, right? So then you put it on. And during the first hour of sleep, I didn't feel good. I felt, oh shit, man, this is hot, eh? How can I sleep with this, like this heat? Normally people want to sleep with a cooling sensation that your body actually cools down and you fall to sleep, right? That puts you the optimum temperature. So being the fact that the air conditioning is on at 16 degrees and full blast, I'm still feeling hot in my legs. To be honest, I can tell you, it's uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie to anyone. It's really uncomfortable wearing this heat. So throughout the whole night, off and on, I do wake up. I do heat up around my legs, around my quads and my crouch area. It's every time really hot around that area. So I woke up a couple of times. But after the next day, I woke up. What was different because the last night, the night that I wore it, I actually had a heavy workout. I did deadlifts, I did squats and stuff like that. All right. And normally after the squats and deadlifts, you normally will have after effect of those muscles being sore in a way that you will feel off and on pain around the muscles area. I would. It's not really unbearable pain, but pain that gives you the aches. Like typical. You have not used a muscle for a long time, and then you start playing something, and then you feel that ache around your body. So it's the same thing. So around my leg area, I realized, hey, it's strange. How come there's no ache? There's something's wrong. Normally the next day you wake up, like you the first thing you put your legs down on the ground from your bed, and you start to get up, you'll feel the ache already. That's for sure. Every athlete will tell you the same. If they use their muscles in the right way, they fire it up the night before, they use a lot of resistance training to it, your muscles definitely have a lot of sore. That shows that you're actually targeting the right muscle group, right? I have that normally after a workout. And then I don't. And strange enough, I didn't do a lot of stretches also the night. I didn't do anything extraordinary, which means I didn't stretch more than often, or neither did I do more of the roller foam. So I felt it was different. So the first day, and subsequently, okay, fine. I said maybe it's just my mind playing some tricks. Like my body is not syncing with something. Then the next day, I wear on the pants again. Trust me, again, it was uncomfortable the whole night. Like you do wake up off and on feeling hot because you're not used to it, all right? Because ultimately what I understand from the pants is that it traps the heat within your body around those muscle groups where it actually has a compression, right? So again, I didn't feel good sleeping with the pants, but then again, I managed to sleep through. The next morning, same thing. No muscle pain, right? Although I didn't do workout in terms of my leg workout, but I did other workout as well, right? So it goes on for day 3, day 4, the same. Then after a while, I realized it's probably the pants. And what was different as well, I started to actually stretch less. I don't stretch that much. My wife used to say that everywhere you go, you tend to off and on, you stand up, you will just do a leg stretch. I will stretch my calf muscles, I will stretch my hamstrings, etc. So people who does yoga, they will know that you do that stretches, but I don't really do yoga now, but I just stretch it because you'll feel the tightness around your. So that seems to go off within the first week. I didn't have a lot of tightness around my leg area, especially my hamstrings. So for the pants itself, my own personal testimony, someone who does not have a lot of health problems, I don't have extraordinary testimonial like those who get killed by hypertension or they got killed by basic eczema or whatever, like something that is more, I would say more drastic in their health because myself, I don't have that problem. But the only thing that helps me improve my performance in my sports, in my workout, I tend to have more endurance. I tend to recover faster. So that's the reason why I wear that pants, right? So along the way, the last 3 months, my wife got myself into the whole entire series of Aulora. So now I do wear the t-shirt as well. And then besides the pants, it's our uniform that we go to bed together with. That we put on, like it looked totally black. You wear the black pants, you wear a black t-shirt, right? And the next thing she got me to wear is basically this boxes too. So yeah, so I have to wear that too. The only thing that she hasn't got me to wear is a pair of socks, which I'm not going to wear that's for sure. All right. So pretty much that's my own personal testimony. If you guys like to ask anything else.
Yeah, but I heard also help you to sleep better.
Yes. After a while, after the first week, you kind of get used to it. But off and on, my sleep is good now. Get more sound sleep, but the only thing, probably every 3 hours you wake up feeling different parts of your body heat up. Especially, I know my couch area. I would definitely put the pants a bit and then go back to sleep. That's what I do. All right. I would say the experience of sleeping now is much better. But off and on, I will still wake up to put the pants. All right.
I see. That's very good. Very sincere sharing, actually, I would say. Yeah. And do you have any words of advice that for those who haven't tried?
Words of advice. Okay. I think it's a mind game that you guys need to basically. First thing is a lot of things that before you try, you have a lot of things skeptical of things, as well as also the fact that the inconvenience that you have to put yourself through, right? Doing something different. What I can say is basically like what I told you, my wife being persistent, as well as myself being reluctant at first. If I can actually give advice, is that to those who have not tried the pants, try the pants with an open mind, because the pants itself does give you different relief in whatever your body is facing. So different people has different healing degree of healing process. Some people may not have. Some people may just help them to maintain what they're doing, and some people may just give them a better lifestyle. So I would say wear the pants based on an open mind, not with a mind that is supposed to help you to do miracles like what I've does, because it may not be. Like for myself, it don't help me with my constipation problem because I don't have that, right? I go to the toilet every day. Some people say that they haven't gone to the toilet they have difficulty going to the toilet for a few days, but now they go so often with the pants, like stuff like that. So I would say everyone's experience is quite personal to them. So by that sense, use that with an open mind. That's my advice.
Good.
Right?
Yep. Thank you. And yes, drink lots of water. Because my advice, if you're wearing the pants, drink more water because really detox purpose. And yep. Thank you, Chris, for sharing today on a Saturday. I hope you're well in Singapore. We are good, right? Stay calm. Wear the pants, wear the Aulora series, and we will be fine. All right. Okay.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy. All right. Bye. See ya.